Hi guys, so this week's video is about alcohol-based markers. It is one of my art materials videos. So just a little bit on the picture before I go on about the markers in general. So the picture was originally a digital illustration that I did of my OC Ruby and her love interest Vadim, who belongs to Tati 1907, and we roleplay them. They're really fun. So I did this design. I've been doing designs like this for my friend Tati, of course. So I really wanted to see how well it would work as a traditional piece because they were just digital illustrations. I wanted them to be kind of flexible in how I could use them. So about the markers. Okay, let's get started on that. So marker brands, there are many different kinds of marker brands. So the ones I specifically have are Copic Chow's, Letraset Pro markers. Now they come as Winsor & Newton Pro markers, but I do not have any of the rebranded stuff yet. I do plan on getting them and I do really want to test out and compare. But I also have Tinge markers. They are basically a rebrand of Touch, I think. I also have Spectrum Noir Generation 1 and Generation 2. The only difference between them is the different kind of barrel. So the first generation has like this rectangular kind of barrel and the second one has a hexagonal barrel. And finally, I also have these pens called Mirage markers. They are alcohol-based markers. I did a review on them. I will leave it in a card and a link in the description if you want to go check that out. They are actually really cheap. They're really nice. So yeah, it really depends on personal preference. So every artist's style of using these markers is different because some have more blended in, some have really soft blending. It, again, personal preference with that. And also how you learn to use those markers is also a big factor in it because some marker brands are a lot more harder to blend than others. So I started off with Spectrum Noirs and the first pack I ever brought was Warm Greys. That's also something I would recommend for beginners, starting with grayscale. So you can actually get used to how the markers work and you only have to deal with light and dark and not the colours in general. But once you feel confident, you obviously start using them. But with Spectrum Noir was a lot harder to blend than Copics. So if you learn a harder product first, it makes the transition to Copics a lot nicer and you actually know how to use them and it's really nice that way. So most of the other marker brands I have other than Copic are bullet nibbed. Now I'd rather have a brush tip and this is something that is usually the deciding factor for like artists with their markers and I completely agree on that statement. But I do still love my Spectrum Noir markers and I would not give them up for the world. I love all my marker collection. It's just that I wish that they were all of them were brush tipped. That's the only thing that I wish on my markers right now. So another thing I would recommend keeping is a color chart. Color charts are great if you want to start up a collection, but they're also great if you want to use them as quick reference to a color. I have one for each of my marker brands. So I have one for Copic, Letraset, Spectrum Noir and Mirage markers. Now the Mirage markers one I had to make myself. There's 120 in the set, so that was a pretty easy grid to just make in Photoshop and it looks like a pretty official chart because I added the logo at the top just to keep in the same kind of context as the other marker charts. That's why I did that. But yeah, it really does matter to keep a color chart because some of the colors are not exactly the same as the caps. Like the Spectrum Noir greens, do not even get me started on those. Like some of the lighter colors, the ones that are supposed to be lighter, are like the darkest tone in the set. It's ridiculously stupid. So if you actually keep a reference to that, then it's fine. It's really good. Color charts are your friend. So that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.